We're going to write a two-column proof. So I'm going to first start off by looking at the given information. Angle 1 and angle 2 are supplementary. And I want to get from this given information, and I have to build an argument to get to the proof or the statement that's written next to prove. So basically you want to go from here to here. And we have to supply some reasons as to how we're approaching to that step. So angle 1 and angle 2 are supplementary. So let me draw a picture of that. So here I have two angles, angles 1 and angle 2, and they're supplementary. Now, how do I know that this is what it would look like? I'm not exactly sure if they're combined or if they're separate angles, but if you look up the definition of supplementary angles, it would say that it's two angles whose measures add up to 180 degrees. So I'm just going to represent it this way because I know that when I combine these two, I get 180 degrees. And I want to prove that the measure of angle 1 is 180 minus the measure of angle 2. So let me first start off with the given information. Here it says angle 1 and angle 2 are supplementary. And the reason I'm going to write is because it was given to me. Now next is step 2. So looking at step 1, I know supplementary means two angles whose measures add up to 180 degrees. So that's the only thing I can come up with next. So I'm going to use that. So measure of angle 1 plus the measure of angle 2 is equal to 180 degrees. And the reason I'm going to use is that that's the definition of supplementary angles. And we're trying to get to this part here, so I want to get to this statement here. So next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the equation that I wrote down here in step 2, and I'm going to write it over here on the side. So I'm going to do my work on the side. So the measure of angle 1 plus the measure of angle 2 is equal to 180 degrees. And I want to isolate the measure of angle 1 because I can see that if I subtract the measure of angle 2 to both sides of this equation, that I'm going to get the term measure of angle 1 on the left side by itself. And these are not like terms, so I'm just going to write out 180 minus the measure of angle 2, which is what I was trying to get to for my proof part. So now, instead of writing the actual work I did, I'm just going to write down this step here. So the measure of angle 1 equals 180 minus the measure of angle 2. And then I have to put a reason as to how did I get to this. Well, if you look at the work I did, you can see here that this is what I had to do in order to get to this last step. So what I'm going to put for my reason is this is the subtraction property of equality. So I'm going to put down subtraction property of equality. And that's how you write a two-column proof.